What we do here is go back.
Hello. How are we all? I hope we're very well. I certainly am. Thank you for joining me. Let's get the shilling out of the way because we've got a couple of things to be dealing with today. We will be playing Gartic Phone in just a little while. So if you want to be involved in that, jump in the Discord at some point and we'll do the Discord call thing and play that, and hopefully it'll work on stream. We'll wait and see. But I did also want to cover a couple of things, a couple of good things. So we'll be doing that in just a second with No Justice. Now, let's get shilling out of the way. Right. You can hit the fuck's sake. If you're on YouTube, go over to the Twitch, join there. If you're on Twitch, go over and join on YouTube as well. These are things you can do. They're free. You can follow on Twitch, you can subscribe on YouTube. That's a thing. You can subscribe with money on Twitch if that's a thing you want to do. Want to support the stream, etc. You can subscribe with Amazon Prime. You can give subs to the community. These are all things available to you. You can do bits messages. 200 bits or more get you a text to speech. You can do super chats via the super chat link below on the Twitch. Or if you're on YouTube, you have to go over to the Twitch to find that link. Yeah, it's a bit more complicated now. I'm on two platforms. Anyway, you can do that. $2 or more, that gets you a text-to-speech. You can help me out on Patreon monthly. You can go over to the Discord and check that out. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook. Like I say, there's YouTube, Blue Sky, and or TikTok. These are the things available to you. So, yes, we got a serious thing to be dealing with today, first and foremost, and then we'll play Gartic Phone, because we've got the charity thing on Saturday, and one of the things is I'm getting celebrity guests or whatever onto the show, by which I mean like some people who you're probably well aware of, bigger streamers than me, basically, to come on and play Gartic Phone, which would be good, I think. So I've got to sort of practice that tonight with you all, if you'll indulge me, and we'll see if that works on stream. So if you want to be a part of that, we'll probably be doing that in about an hour. So it'll be in the Discord. If you join the Discord and scroll down to the bottom, there's like a voice channel call-in waiting room thing, and we'll drag you into that, and fun times will be had by all, I'm sure. It's like a kind of telephone game drawing thing, and I don't have one of the styluses. I'm just going to be using a fucking mouse, so my already shit artistic stylings will be even more embarrassing tonight. So enjoy that. If you enjoy me being humiliated and looking foolish, you probably will enjoy that, I imagine. So stay tuned. Hello?
You're right, Kev, how you doing?
I'm not too bad, I wasn't going to hit you up tonight, but I saw that you were covering the Tansky thing, and I thought, well, I was going to cover that anyway, so we'll do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, but you don't want to play Gartic Phone, that's fine. I'll let
you
off.
I've been going for over 2 hours, so by the time we finish, it'll be almost probably 3 at that point. So
yeah, no, that's fair enough. I'm just practicing for my thing. I'm doing a charity thing on Saturday, which I might drag you on for at some point, maybe.
No worries, that's fine.
Yes, and I'm going to play Gartic Phone with celebrities or should I say,
Oh wow.
slightly bigger streamers than me, I guess.
Mine are like femto celebrities on Twitter and YouTube.
Exactly, people you've probably heard of if you're online and in this specific
Yeah.
part of the internet. Yeah, we're not talking. We're not talking. I don't know, Barack Obama or something. Although he's not that famous anymore. Yesterday's fucking news, cunt. Anyway, yes, right. So, well, how have you been in general? First and foremost, I hope you're well.
Actually, pretty good. I just got up and immediately started streaming today. I woke up like 1 p.m. So.
Oh, you're on full degenerate hours. Love it.
I'm literally on full degenerate hours. Yeah,
Beautiful.
as in I go to bed at like 5 in the morning because sometimes I'm streaming until like 11, so all of my editing gets done at night.
Yes, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
I'll finish streaming and then immediately edit the segment from the stream that I was doing.
That's fair enough. Yeah. Is it going to work? There we go. Sorry, my fucking OBS was fucking out on me. So, we're going to cover this person on stream, Supertansky, who I think I've certainly talked about in, I'll say, derisive terms, I guess, albeit more friendly than hateful or anything like that, but certainly disrespectful
derisory
terms. Yeah. She is an interesting character. We've been a couple of back and forths on Twitter. Relatively good thing, because I'm one of the few people who isn't blocked, I think, by her on Twitter. And she's basically an ultra Labour loyalist person, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty embarrassing, to be honest. It's pretty tragic, considering Keir Starmer isn't worth a steam off my piss, let alone political loyalty.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, she's very get the Tories out pilled, right?
Yeah, very GTTO, yes.
Yes, exactly. So her political position is we have to get the Tories out by any means necessary, and that means you have to vote Labour regardless of your political position. Which again, the whole point of this having to vote Labour to get the Tories out stuff, it's just like a shocking level of political naivety, right? I think I understand where all of this comes from, right? I don't begrudge people for thinking they have to vote Labour to get the Tories out, because I know, because that's the position that I used to sit in, right, and a lot of my friends used to sit in, where they just didn't quite understand that there was no utility in doing this, especially not when Labour already 20 points ahead by essentially pandering to the votes of people who have a political ideology that I disagree with, right?
Well, exactly, yeah. For me, there's getting rid of the Tories will be fun, no doubt, but in terms of me actively supporting the other side, so to speak, there has to be an other side. Replacing them with the same fucking thing, only in some respects actually worse. I mean, see David Cameron outflanking them to the left on Gaza. Ridiculous. Then it doesn't seem to me like that's a massive win, actually. Like seeing sad Tories in a fucking leisure centre in Grimsby on election night will be fun. That will be fun. But they're just going to be replaced with some other posh cunt who also doesn't represent me. So
exactly,
it's not that big a win all round. It's Pyrrhic,
Yeah, continuing like neoliberal decline, right? Because I think a lot of these people as well, a lot of these kind of GTTO crowd, they don't ever actually bother critically scrutinising anything that Labour say that they'll do, because all that matters to them is replacing the blue team with the red team, right? Yeah. And you know what? There is some utility to be gained in replacing the blue team with the red team, but that utility is very fleeting when the replacement is doing very little different. Like, nothing will fundamentally change. Famous last words from Genocide Joe.
Whoa, Joe Biden. I'm voting for Joe Biden in all 50 states. You have some respect. me and the Smartmatic voting machines are gonna fucking kill it. Absolutely,
100%.
So let's get into this. Is called a New Labour. That's new with a small n, so not New Labour as in the New Labour of Tony Blair necessarily. Or maybe I'm picking apart the grammar of it slightly too specifically. A New Labour or a party of protest. ? Which
you can tell that she's gotten this take not because she's iterated it herself, right? But her favourite commentators that she reads have decried Jeremy Corbyn's Labour as a party of protest, or indeed members of the Labour Party have said, we don't do gesture politics. We used to be a party of protest, but now we're a party of power, not office. Power, right?
Exactly,
is
yeah.
what they call themselves,
Yeah,
right?
very much
So
so.
it's not something, and they do this all the time. These GTTO types, they uncritically parrot Labour lines as if they're received wisdom. Like the amount of times I've had to have been browbeaten by people about how Labour's economic plans make sense and how they just need to grow the economy by pressing the growth button, and they refuse to listen to any dissenting opinion, even if it's rationalised through some level of economic education. They just go back and say, well, the Tories have maxed out the country's credit card. There's no money left, which is literally a line that Lucy Powell gave on ITV News, right? I'm like, if you knew anything about how any economy worked, you'd know that there is no such thing as the government's credit card.
Well, look, you're sounding very anti-growth coalition right now.
True.
Is all I can say. Fucking pork market Starmer will not be happy.
The thing is, the irony is that I'm very pro-growth, right? And the Corbyn manifestos were pro-growth manifestos, just through Keynesian stimulus and through a restructuring of the economy, rather than just pressing the red button and hope that we get growth by deregulating the planning a bit.
No, just why do any of that Keynesian shit when you can just feed poor people into a furnace?
Exactly. Have you tried raise interest rates and kill all the poor?
Exactly. Look, I know we've tried cutting the taxes for the rich for the last 50 years, but if we try it for another 50 years, it'll probably work, I reckon.
Yeah.
Definitely. Just like that, it very much reminds me of the plan during the First World War of getting men to go out of the trench and walk slowly into machine gun fire. That will definitely work. If you try it 1,000,000 times, it'll definitely work the next time. 100%.
Yeah.
Brilliant, guys. Yes. So yeah, a party of protest. Very, like you say, you can tell it's being parroted rather than necessarily an original opinion, because it's very much having just read James O'Brien's book and his going on about student politics and idealists and all this sort of thing. It reminds me very much of that condescending tone that actually wanting change means you're not very serious. Brilliant.
Exactly.
I mean, well, why not just join the fucking Tory party then, you pricks? If you don't think a better world is possible, fuck off. Would be my suggestion.
Or at least join the Lib Dems, right? At least join a party that doesn't pretend to have different economic principles than the Conservative Party.
Yeah. Although, thankfully, Keir Starmer has, of course, banned people from going to pro-Palestine marches, but Christian Wakefield did go to the pro-Israel march. So that's normal and good, and I'm sure he'll definitely lose the whip for that, because that would be taking a position.
Yeah, just like he didn't lose the whip for it being revealed that he said Labour were, and I quote, a bunch of cunts when he was sitting on the opposite bench until he realised that he would lose his seat if he didn't defect.
To be fair, though, that's the one time I've ever agreed with Christian Wakefield on anything. So, it swings and roundabouts. Right, Supertansky. I quite like her videos sort of in general. I think they're quite funny. Some of her use of language is quite nice. You can tell she's got she's got comedy chops. But unfortunately her politics are a bit they're shit lib. Very shit lib.
Dystopia warning.
That's unbelievably quiet. Could you hear that properly?
No.
Okie dokie. We did download the thing, didn't we? Audio.
Yeah.
Where was it again? Speechify? No. Volume booster. There we go.
Dystopia warning. Obviously, there's always need for a dystopia warning, isn't there? This is just me thinking out loud, really, because I watched the Blair Brown documentary again, because I'm a nerd. And it's got me thinking a lot about the...
well, actually, I don't know, maybe you're blocked by her on Twitter, but did you see her amazing Gordon Brown tweet?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, as I'm not blocked, I will circumvent her wishes and allow you to see. Yeah. Now, it sort of echoed a little bit something you were saying. Not that... Unless, am I blocked by her? Surely not. Hang on. It wasn't last time I looked. No results. For fuck's sake, hang on. Yeah, something that you were saying. No, I'm not blocked. Here we go. She about Gordon Brown being good, although she takes it to a frankly slightly silly extent. Here we go. 1 second. Boom. So, according to Supertansky, Gordon Brown doesn't get the recognition he deserves. Radical economic policy.
Radically shit. I mean, not radically. I mean, he was fine. He was fine. Like, PFIs were terrible. That's what I'm getting at. PFIs were bad. Because PFIs were radical policy, just radically neoliberal.
But I'm guessing that's not what she means. Record funding for public services, reduced inequality, 3 million
He didn't. Whoa. The most unequal level of our society was under Gordon Brown as Chancellor, right?
Yeah, it made the golden era in America look frankly Marxist by comparison. 3 million pensioners.
We reduced poverty, right?
Yeah.
Overall poverty massively reduced. And that's a good thing, right? I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That was a noble goal, right? But also, loads of people got filthy rich.
Yes, and literally Peter Mandelson, best friends with a pedophile, Peter Mandelson literally said that he didn't mind people getting, and his exact words were, filthy rich. Literal. No, exactly.
He said what Labour should be a home for Thatcherites, or it's the Thatcherites are welcome in Labour now, or something was another quote of his.
Yes, was it Blair or Mandelson that said they were the heir to Thatcher? I can't remember, but it's something in that line anyway. So 3 million pensioners, 2 million kids saved from abject poverty. I won't forget what he achieved because I was one of those kids. Now, there's nothing necessarily entirely incorrect about those final two sentences, shall we say. But I do have to wonder about the tens of thousands of children who were killed or made homeless or dispersed or made into orphans in Iraq and Afghanistan by him as well. Just, you know, putting that out there. Is it only white kids that matter? Not sure. This is why I'm an unashamed Brownite. The man was a giant. I mean, there's dick riding, and then there's this is almost like Elon Musk stands level of dick riding. Yeah. Madness.
Also, it's interesting, the heiress points out that they can't sum up New Labour better than Angela Smith telling you can't eliminate poverty completely. Almost, even if you couldn't, right, that does not a reason to not want to have it as low as possible, right? There are countries with 20% of the poverty than we have, 10% of the poverty that we have, right? The level of inequality and the destitution in our country is special because of neoliberalism. Right? That can be changed, right? Even if you can't eliminate it completely. That's not an argument against not trying to get it. As radically low as possible. Yeah,
that would be my point. Yeah, let's say that it's not possible. I'm not entirely sure that is true, but let's say realistically speaking, it's impossible to do that. Does that mean we shouldn't try to make it better than it currently is?
Exactly.
Again, if you don't think any kind of positive change is possible, why did you even get into politics at all?
Exactly.
Even if you think... Go on, sorry.
Sorry, thanks for Phil McCracken, thank you for the 10 gifted, and Valhalla Vidya, thank you for the 5 gifted.
Yes. Also, you can give me money. You should also give Helena money, but I also need money, so you can give me money.
True. Both of us need lots of money, yeah.
Exactly. Food is not free. Although it should be. But never mind.
True. Based.
Attitudes that people have towards Labour now, and the kind of attitudes that people had towards Labour when they tried to change tack and move more towards, I guess, the centre with New Labour. Now, the centre ground is not the space that I inhabit.
The centre with New Labour. I do have to question the phrase centre. What is?
Well, that's the problem, right? Is that centre is always going to be relative, right? Because these are people, I guess, especially Tansky, who's grown up literally only ever knowing neoliberalism, right?
Yeah.
Only ever understanding the world through the frame of a neoliberal Overton window. Centrism to these people essentially looks like whatever is within the bounds of the current level of political discourse as per the Overton window, which is not the same as the actual centre in absolute terms.
Well, exactly, yeah. That's the point. Keir Starmer should be the leader of the Tory party, and there should be an actual left party. But that isn't the case. He's apparently just centre.
And then, 'cause even then, like on like absolute economic terms, we're still like really right wing. Like in
Yeah.
terms of other European countries, in terms of the global south, we're hilariously right wing, right on the economy. Or the people are saying they can't hear the audio, but there's tough guys. It's just a super low mastering level from Supertansky, and whatever Kev does on your end, I think that only applies to audio you hear and not what I get shared by Google Meet. So there's not much you can do.
I'll turn the volume booster up slightly, but the thing is, it gets too distorted if you go too far with it.
No,
So-
your volume booster is only affecting on your end. It doesn't affect on my end.
At all? Oh,
Nope.
Would it make more sense for you to share it then, or would that not make?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Okay.
probably would make more sense. Yeah.
Okay, well you do that then, and then we'll see if any of that makes any difference. Apologies, technical problems, people. I know my streams are usually smooth as silk, but
Yeah.
Supertansky
Let me.
is light on political knowledge and light on volume.
Yes, quite very much so. Very much so. Right, and then I go to the meeting, and then I share this one.
Yes. Boom shakalaka. Go on then.
There's always need for a dystopia warning, isn't there? This is just me thinking out loud, really.
Oh, that is exceptionally quiet, isn't it?
Yeah,
She's
and
like
I've
a
got
little-
full volume here.
A little fucking dormouse.
He really is.
Okay, tell you what we'll do. We'll kick it old school, right? You don't share, right? You play from your end and I play from my end, and then before we start we have to agree what second we're on.
Oh dear lord.
I know, it's a fucking nightmare. I'm currently at 29 seconds, so that's how far we got when I was sharing.
This is old school, yeah.
This is
29, there we go.
This is ridiculous, right? Okay. Right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Bit, actually. If I had it my way, I'd overthrow capitalism. Contrary
Pause.
to the
So we're at 34 seconds. Pause. I'd overthrow capitalism. I mean, welcome aboard, Comrade Tansky. But also, what the fuck are you talking about? Why are you supporting Keir Starmer? That's mental.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what? I mean, I feel like a lot of people just say capitalism bad, and then they've not thought any further. What does she think capitalism is? Does she think capitalism? Does she? What's she even getting at here by even like using the phrase "we need to dismantle capitalism"?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure she knows. It's kind of the liberal thing in many respects. Of
Oh my god, she's the female Paul Mason. That's literally who she is.
it's Paulette Mason. No.
She's literally just like, oh, I'm secretly really into. I'm actually a Trotskyist, but we have to support Keir Starmer because I understand social democracy from a Marxist perspective.
True. Fucking true. Oh, so no, Pauline Mason here is a typical kind of liberals' understanding of things. Like they see that the capitalist system leads to enormous inequality, and they don't really understand it, and they know it's bad, but they kind of, again, it's accepting the conditions you're under as the conditions that must always exist, and therefore you can only work within that framework. It's failing to think of anything remotely outside of the neoliberal box. It's an absolute incapability of doing that.
Yeah,
Anyway.
pretty much.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, play.
the raft of incels that, you know, are slouched in their mum's spare rooms with pot noodles strewn down their fronts, leaking nudes on 4chan, trying to tell me that I'm a centrist.
Pause.
Because I don't.
Pause. I don't even have pot noodle on me, so shut up. Actually.
One assumption's too many about the Kev
Exactly. I am a disgusting incel. My nudes are on 4chan, probably. I don't know. As if I have nudes. Jesus. Yeah, but I do not have pot noodle on me, so fuck you, centrist.
No, only shin cup hot and spicy noodle soup around these parts, right?
I am a ramen king, and I will not apologise for that.
Absolutely. How dare she disparage the Kev Goon Cave?
True! 3...
Or Goon Kev.
Goon Kev. There's quite a lot you can do with my name. I quite like Kevolution as a kind of thing, and I'm going to be doing Kevioke as well. So
there you go.
stay tuned for that at some point. Let's go.
Don't do. Also,
Oh, sorry. 3, 2, 1, go.
precisely what they want me to. Soft boys are going to soft boy, aren't they? I digress. Historically, most parties, the most successful parties, have won elections from the centre, because that's an area that kind of has policies that appeal to enough people, is enough of a compromise for people to get on board.
Pause. We're at 1-1-1.
Yep.
So David Shepherd hopping on one leg as we speak. Yes. So right. The idea that political bodies are supposed to necessarily compromise on things that they believe in is a slightly silly thing. Like, why not just have no democracy at all and just have people randomly sort of come together and just agree on a thing and just do that? Like, why even have political parties or a voting process in that way? It's silly.
Just make David Cameron Prime Minister for life.
Well, exactly.
Literally.
Yeah. Like,
That's what we get. That's literally what we're in the point of. We literally just have David Cameron as Prime Minister for life, just in different versions, like Pokemon video games.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Like, and in terms of the centre being always where it's at, A, that shows how much of a fucking centrist you are, literally, and B, manufacturing consent is a thing, you understand. People don't necessarily always gravitate towards the centre because it's in their best interests. It's because enough of them are told that, oh, it's the migrants that are the problem or whatever, that you end up in a situation where a perfectly normal or a perfectly saleable idea is the idea of sending someone to fucking Rwanda.
Right. And even then, if we just take the economy in like a microcosm, right? Because I think that's broadly where a lot of our disagreements with Keir Starmer come from. Economic policy and foreign policy, like the two main areas we hugely disagree on Keir Starmer's Labour. What's happening with Gaza, what's happening with the economy. And like, even when we look at the economic policies that have won elections, first of all, the British public don't want neoliberalism, right? They don't care about bringing the debt under control. They want more funding for public services instead. And they want nationalisation of loads of different sectors of the economy, right?
Yes.
When it comes to economic policy, the majority of the public disagree with the political consensus. They disagree with it, which is why nobody backed it in 2019. Like, an end to austerity was the political groupthink that actually had its finger on the pulse of what people believed, because neither the Tories nor Labour supported further austerity at the election in 2019. Funnily enough, doesn't even look like it anymore, because that manifesto promise has been broken already by Jeremy Hunt. But even if we look at the past, right? You know, the biggest changes in our country have come when people wanted some sort of change, where the political establishment didn't agree with the electorate, and a party won off the back of wanting to radically change what the country looked like. And that happened in 1945 and it happened in 1979, right? In fact, the biggest victories, you know, in terms of the political history of this country, have come from wanting there to be large amounts of wholesale change. But 2019 is another option of that. Both parties offered change, and one of the biggest changes was Brexit, which Boris Johnson delivered, right? This big change. Thatcher brought us neoliberalism as a gigantic change with a huge majority in 1979. And Clement Attlee did much the same in 1945, when people wanted there to be a national renewal at the end of the war, where they wanted huge changes to our economy then, right? The biggest victories have come from a dissatisfied populace being promised actual change by a party coming and bringing it. This will be the first large election win if Keir Starmer pulls off the victory like he's looking to achieve with the current polling, off the back of promising to do fucking nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. Stumbling into Downing Street.
Yeah, literally. I've been hated, right? His approval rating is minus 20%.
Jesus.
He might be the only elected prime minister for as a first term rather than a re-election with the lowest approval rating ever.
Yeah, that is cancerous. that would
It's
usually
really bad.
That would usually be political cyanide. But the Tories are so in the shitter that even a minus 20 guys like probably going to get a 3-figure majority or some shit.
Yeah.
Madness. But you know, centrism is cool. So 3, 2, 1, play.
Although, in terms of vote share, if we weren't under a deeply unequal and undemocratic voting system like first past the post, progressive parties would get elected, because the biggest sections in terms of vote share are progressive parties and people that don't vote. That's why we need to vote
Pause.
tactic.
I will also point out that if the Labour Party had backed the alternative vote system, it might have made some difference. That
Oh,
was
it actually would have benefited Labour in the long run,
yeah,
ironically.
a foot in the door for a progressive change to the unbelievably undemocratic voting system we currently have.
And now we have a current Keir Starmer who doesn't back electoral reform.
Yeah.
There's no incentive to say, I'm going to get given a 200-seat majority, right? I'm going to have 500, 450 seats at the next election off the back of an undemocratic voting system. What material incentive would he have to change it?
Well, exactly.
And you're the one who say the biggest problem here is our shitty vote system. And you're asking me to vote for a man who wants to keep the same voting system because it's material incentive to do so.
Yeah, well, all governments do, or all oppositions do this. Even David Cameron, when he was in opposition, mooted the idea of some sort of change because they realise, oh, it's unfair. Those guys who've got a 100-seat majority only got 38% of the vote, or whatever, which is ridiculous and just an obvious spit in the face of any kind of democracy. But as soon as they get in, and they're the guys who got 39.1% and got a 120-seat majority, it's not in their interest to do that ever again. Why would they bother? So the only party, the only people who have no interest in doing it are the very people you would need to have an interest in doing it in order to bring it about. It could never happen otherwise. Or if you get into a situation where, in theory, a cross-party system or cross-party alliance could form, like with the minority governments of David Cameron and Theresa May, you're in such a tight situation that you're only ever going to focus on the really important shit. All of a sudden, constitutional reform gets kicked to the sidelines because it's too important. It's too important to focus on literally just your government lasting day to day to fuck around with House of Lords reform or something, you know?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's also worth pointing out. She says, well, people you should be doing tactical voting. Yeah, I am tactically voting for the Green Party, right? Yeah. Tactical voting isn't necessarily voting in a way to best make sure that you win your constituency. It's about maximising the utility of your vote. And I think my vote has more utility in pushing the envelope by threatening the Labour Party with losing votes to a resurgent coalition of Green voters.
Yeah.
So that to try and win them over, like David Cameron was forced to do with Brexit because of losing votes to UKIP. I think that has more utility than replacing the current blue tie with a red tie on the potential MP in my constituency, given that both blue tie and red tie back the same economic system. Like, that's more utility to me. If there was more difference, right? If there was more difference between the blue team and the red team, there might be plenty of utility in me compromising somewhat to put the slightly better red team into power. That's my opinion on the Democratic Party in America, for example. I think people should vote for Joe Biden because I think the effective utility of Biden over Trump is pretty large, despite them both being pro-genocide, right? At least we get good NLRB policies. You get things like plenty of tax credits, which you get some amount of student debt, not cancellation, not a huge amount, right? There's still loads of things wrong with the Democrats. I'm not going to give them a free pass and anything. But there's at least a modicum of difference there that makes there an effective utility in being able to change one for the other. But replacing Sunak with Starmer, fucking meaningless. Meaningless. What's the point? Right? I might as well use my vote to vote for the Green Party because then at least Labour know, right? Whilst we still have leverage, right? This is the crazy thing. These people will say, we can hold Keir Starmer's feet to the fire once he's Prime Minister. Okay, once you've given up your single piece of leverage that he cares about, which is whether or not you'll vote for him, what mechanism do these people think exists to influence Keir Starmer when he's basically bought and paid for to get into his position through Labour Together, as we found out on stream the other day? And there's no internal Democratic Party politics in the Labour Party. Unions have no power now, deliberately so, because the people at the top want to get rid of the union element of the party anyway. That's what Blair was saying, what Mandelson was saying, what McSweeney was saying, right?
Yeah.
What leverage or method do they think that they can hold Keir Starmer's feet to the fire other than posting mean tweets? Vibes, yeah.
Yeah. Forgetting, of
I
course,
showed you my tweets, please respond.
Yeah, the vibes thing doesn't really work the other way around. You may vote for him on vibes. He's not going to give you what you want on vibes. And also, I will be bringing this up when inevitably Keir Starmer is an absolute fucking shithouse, toilet man, fucking Prime Minister, and she hasn't held him to account. I will be pointing this out because these people have all done this. Like you say with tactical voting, for them, tactical voting just means get the Tories out. Now that in of itself is not an ignoble goal. That's fine.
No.
But what are you replacing them with? If it's just a Tory in a red rosette, that's not a tactical vote to me. I mean, look, I expect a Tory to completely fucking destroy the country and to shag me senseless, right? I expect that. What I expect the Labour Party to do is at least slightly less bad. And they're not even going to give me that. So, no. I literally think burning my fucking ballot would be more useful, actually. Now, I think it's more useful than that, even some more, to vote for the Green Party, or if you've got, like, a local independent that might be some usefulness, I don't know.
Yeah, like an Emma Dent code or something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Or if, like, fucking... if the Jam Man runs as an independent, something like that. If you've got a local option other than the Greens, or if the Greens aren't standing in your position or in your area or whatever, then by all means vote for whoever else. But voting for the Labour Party, that's not a tactical vote in my book. You might as well vote Tory, frankly.
Yep, same, agreed.
The next general election to eat the Tories
3,
directly off
2,
the fucking pit.
1.
Oh,
play.
And then we
shit! I forgot we were doing that. We're at 134.
134. Okay.
We good? Right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Kaboom!
Go through the channels to lobby, put pressure on Labour to give us what we want, which
Pause.
is a representative.
I knew you were gonna pause. I literally, my hand was moving.
channels?
My hand
What
was
channels?
moving to the mouse before you said it.
What
Sorry.
lobby? What channels? What do you think exists?
My
They have
YouTube channel.
total control. They have literally got like they've created a Politburo that be able to create diktats within the party, right? And again, this is not due to her. Like, this is not. She's not lying. She's just ignorant. She doesn't even bother looking. She doesn't understand. She's totally ignorant of how the Labour Party internal structure works. Would lobby through the channels as if that's a thing that exists, right? Only ignorance. Ignorance is the only bar that we get to this point, right?
Oh, sorry. You were probably making great points there. I didn't hear half of it because I was still laughing. I apologise profusely. Yeah, no, the channel she's going to use to access Keir Starmer is her YouTube channel. Didn't you
Yeah, and
understand?
TikTok. Yeah. I post a mean TikTok. Please, I showed you my TikToks. Please respond.
Exactly. I have posted a savage meme on Twitter. You will have to pass fundamental voter reform, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Voting system in which all of our votes count equally. A form of PR, if you will. Anyway, back to the documentary.
Pause.
Now, as much...
The only form of PR he believes in is public relations. That is all.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not getting any
like,
voter reform. You're not getting anything.
So it's not the issue. Again, it's like a standard liberal does not understand material conditions, right? What material gain would Starmer have for implementing a thing that would lose him 100 seats at the next election, 200 seats at the next election? Why? Pointless.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Much as I really respected John Smith as a politician, Gordon Brown's mentor, I don't think that if he had been leading the Labour Party, that we would have won those elections.
Pause. You keep John Smith's name out of your fucking mouth, okay? Don't you?
He was the one who
dare.
got the lead.
Yeah. Fuck's sake. John Smith would have, I think, won in '97, assuming it would have gone that far, because who knows?
Yeah, agreed.
And also would have made a far better prime minister. And almost certainly wouldn't have dragged us into illegal wars and stuff.
No.
But, you know, he
exactly.
went and died, so...
John Smith dying is a real, like, turning point of history, really, isn't it?
True. Does make you wonder, doesn't it? No, it doesn't really. He was just an old man who died. It happens.
He has some good lines, though. I really liked his line in PMQs, right? When it's just like, it's no wonder in a conservative-run government, hotels fall into the sea and the Grand National doesn't start.
True. He also said, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. Wasn't really relevant to the discussion at hand, but it was a good line. 3, 2,
1.
Needed to change from a party of protest into a party that could show a broad section of society beyond just the left that it could run the country properly, it could be trusted. And it was a long, hard slog for Labour to achieve that. Now, if you look at the situation we're in now, I'm not saying that this version of Labour is particularly bold or progressive. I would prefer it to be more so. But it's a change from what it was, which wasn't working. The previous leader of the opposition had two...
Yeah.
Kev, would you like to enlighten me, right? And enlighten chat. Which leader was it that gave us the biggest increase in Labour's share of the vote in history.
Was it John Lee Cromley's?
It was the Mr. Jumbly Crumbly Concrete himself in
Whoa!
2017.
Did he jam the numbers?
I know.
Yeah, fuck
The
you,
absolute
Tansky.
boy.
Literally, like you can tell she's just arrived on the political scene and doesn't really understand much. She's just Brexit poisoned, I guess. I don't know, or
Yeah.
GTTO poisoned. I don't know, but like, yeah, it's the problem is, and I'm gonna. This is where you have to pour some cold water on the situation. Is that those numbers are slightly odd in that you can't rely on the Tories being that shit every single time, and secondly, and this is where actually it reminds me of the old Kipling poem where it's, if you can treat victory and defeat as the two foes they are, or treat them just the same, because they say it's true. You should never get too down about things when they go badly, or too up when they don't, because you can always find that it's more complicated than that.
Yes.
The 2017 numbers aren't as good as they first appear, and the 2019 numbers aren't anywhere near as bad as they first appear. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Like they say, it's the worst result even than Michael Foot's were, but not really, considering the SNP were no political force whatsoever. If you had those 40 seats that he got basically for free in Scotland, actually he would have performed a lot better than John Smith did, and then Michael Foot did in '83. So it's just not the same figure. It's not the same pressure. The Lib Dems didn't take as many votes because the Lib Dem SDP thing and all the rest of it. It's a lot more complicated than that. But either way,
It's super complicated, yeah.
But either way, Supertansky's full of shit.
I mean, there's and also the way she fed in there about Tony Blair needing to change the party for people like John Smith, right? Is she implying that like Neil Kinnock was leading a party of protest?
Well, exactly, because he was there before, yeah. Like,
yeah.
I mean, just because he was better and more well liked than Kinnock doesn't mean he was a protest leader. And just because he was the guy there before your fucking hero Blair doesn't mean that he was some radical. He wasn't. He was actually just a pretty pragmatic social democrat.
Exactly. And also the idea that the electorate of 1997, or 1992 for that matter, is the same electorate with the same opinions in 2024, right? This is what gets me, is that the liberal punditry seem to believe that all of the voters have the same voting patterns and same voting intentions and same priorities in 2024 that they did in 1997, when we're closer to having similar priorities to 1945.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think people are crying out for an answer at the exact time when there is no real answer there. And actually, this the kind of, it reminds me of the kind of smears of the anti-Semitism against the Jam Man. Did you see Elon Musk in Israel today? Being taken around in a comically small bulletproof vest, one for a child by all accounts. And having last week tweeted about how Jewish people were secretly funding white genocide, and it seems to me that literally, in the way that Keir Starmer has come out in support of Israel and that Elon Musk has come out in support of Israel, they've so successfully hijacked the public discourse on this that it doesn't matter what you do, whether real anti-Semitism like Elon Musk or fake anti-Semitism, mostly fake, in the Labour Party, support for Israel is now so intertwined with support for Jewish people because of that link, because of Zionist propaganda, that now just supporting Israel means it's fine. He should be. Elon Musk should be persona non grata in Israel, a country predominantly really populated by Jewish people who apparently, according to Elon Musk, fund white genocide. That he shouldn't even be allowed in the fucking country. He's clearly like some weird fucking Nazi prick. But all of that gets washed away because he's prepared to support the genocide.
Literally. Yeah, literally.
It's embarrassing. It's fucking tragic.
Yeah. Very tragic.
Which, I mean, I mooted it on stream the other day with you, but I think the only way you could ever get progressive change in Britain is if the progressive candidate is also pro-Israel.
Yeah. Zionism without qualification.
Yeah, so socialism and the Zionism's over there, but like we're cool with it type deal. Yeah. Like that would probably be the only way you could ever do it now.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievably depressing. Anyway,
Yeah.
talk about unbelievably depressing. 3, 2, 1.
Shots at it, it didn't work. If you look at the 80s and the 90s, right? After Thatcher had already done what we all knew she was going to do and finished her tirade of pure evil, closing down the mines, Labour was still operating as a protest party.
Sorry, pause. Firstly, what the fuck are you talking about operating as a protest party? Do you think Neil Kinnock was a fucking protest leader? Do you think John Smith was a protest leader? Are you fucking mental? You're just wrong. You're incorrect. And also, Thatcher, pure evil, but apparently the government led by Tony Blair, who called himself the fucking heir of Thatcher, wasn't.
But Thatcher's greatest achievement, in her own words.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you not understand this? Like, you can't say on the one hand Thatcher's evil, but the person who liked Thatcher and continued her legacy was super awesome and we need to be more like that.
Yeah, it's so disingenuous.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just idiotic. She might genuinely believe it without actually realizing what she's doing here. And even then, like,
It seems to me like
if we're gonna go far back, right? Did this make Harold Wilson the party of protest? Was Jim Callaghan the party of protest?
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Was
all of that, yeah.
was Gates School the party of protest? Was Attlee the party of protest?
Yeah.
Was Hardy the party of protest? Like, come on, if we're gonna use the whole past, right? Try and assume that every electorate is identical, no matter how many decades displaced you are from the original context, right? Then how far back can we go?
Yeah, it's...
Like actually, in fact, the Wilson government did loads of unpopular things because they were the right thing to do.
Well, again, I bring it back now. The legalization of homosexuality, or technically gay sex, whatever, sodomy. Which, by the way, I read the Hansard of that debate because I am a very sad individual. But I did, and some of the language that's used is incredible. One of the proponents, one of the co-signees of the bill, literally said, these people are sick and demented, but they need to be left alone to deal with their illness in peace and not prosecuted.
Love it, brilliant.
That's the kind of mood of the area, the country at the time. That was someone who was pro, like, legalizing sodomy, right? Incredible stuff, right? And it was very unpopular. It was incredibly unpopular to do, but everyone now supports it, like, uniformly. There's no one, even the fucking far right aren't suggesting you make gay sex illegal, mainly because they're the ones fucking doing it on the sly. But
exactly, and also, did this unpopular thing cost him electorally? No, it didn't.
No, ultimately, no, it didn't. No, because people don't really vote on sodomy. They just like now they don't vote on trans stuff. They vote on the economy. And maybe occasionally foreign policy. Apologies, my neighbour is knocking very loudly on the wall. Well, actually, it's not that late. I'll let them off. But anyway, yes. So that is extraordinarily loud.
The thing is, and also Wilson defied the right of the party as well, right? It was the white paper that became Margaret Thatcher's union reforms came out of the Labour right, and Wilson refused to implement it.
Yes, yeah. What was the other point?
In place of strife, was it?
Yes, yeah. Barbara Cartland.
Barbara Castle.
Yeah. Hang on. How much? I forgot the point I'm going to make now, and now I'm being distracted by this. So
let's just play.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Party. They were seen as the loony left. The Tory smears stuck, so they had to regroup. Now, the old brass didn't want to regroup. Blair and Brown, they did, even though Brown was a little bit more traditional. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that red Tory jibes are lazy. Labour's trying to position itself as a party that can be trusted, and I think that considering the climate that we're operating under, they've done a pretty good job to...
Cat, top right. Just for anyone in chat. Cat, top right.
Right.
Let's go.
But I think worth pointing out as well is she's saying, oh well, actually, all these red Tory jibes don't stick, and I'm like, our red Tory jibes aren't just anybody to the left of, only to the right of Corbyn is therefore, a disciple of Milton Friedman, right?
Yeah.
That's not what we're saying. But what we understand as people who know how economics works know that they are neoliberal in terms of the way in which they're advocating for economic policy, right? I have hours and hours of content on this channel talking about specifically the economic policy of the incoming Labour government and why I think that it's bad. I'm not doing this because I'm uneducated. I'm not doing this because I just hate anybody to my right. I'm doing this because the economic policy these people advocate for is bad. It's neoliberal and it sucks, right? And it's not going to be good for the country. It's not going to lead to national renewal, right? And that's my criticism, right? So, although I'm calling them red Tories because they are standing on conservative ideals, conservative principles, conservative morality, conservative ethics. They call themselves conservatives, right? Keir Starmer literally said that. I don't mind if you call me conservative, quoting Margaret Thatcher, no less, right? Like, I don't call Andy Burnham a red Tory, right? I don't call Tangmanjeet Singh Desi a red Tory. I don't call Lou Haig a red Tory, right? These people are significantly...
Although Lou Haig does have red hair.
And pronouns, presumably. But, like, these people are significantly to my right, but I don't call them red Tories because they don't act like them or have the rhetoric of them. But Rachel Reeves, Keir Starmer, Lisa Nandy, right? Subala Mahmood, all these people from the Labour Together fucking clique, I will call them red Tories because that's what they believe in. Toryism. Conservative ideology.
Apologies, I've been muted during all of that, but I am listening. 3, 2, 1.
Play.
Turn it around in the time frame that they have. Not saying that I on any level agree with every decision that's made by the leadership of Labour, far from it. I'm saying they've not done a bad job to remain for the best part of a year, way beyond the Tories in the polls. Obviously, it helps that the Tories are going fully batshit, evidently. But we have to be practical. And we have to take into consideration that the way that you win an election is by appealing to people beyond your own people. Preaching to the choir doesn't cut it. You have to convince a broad swathe of society in order to get that ball over the line. Sometimes Labour's got that balance right. Sometimes they've got it wrong. But they're in opposition, you know, facing up against a government that have created a post-truth state, that have run the country into the ground, wasting hundreds of millions of pounds of our money on baseless hate rhetoric, that has all the media on its side and most of the broadcasters. A government...
Pause. Right, so when you're going about hate rhetoric, you do realise all of the opposition from the Labour Party, or certainly from Keir Starmer, from the shadow cabinet, is not based on the fact that it's hateful, but based on the fact that it's not going to work as effectively at getting rid of the Browns, basically. And when I say the Browns, I don't mean Gordon and Sarah Brown. That would be a completely different policy and illegal.
But also, like, do you say, oh, well, you know, they're facing a government that's run this country into the ground? Yeah, we agree with that. So why are they supporting the same policies?
Yep.
If you believe the Conservatives are bad because they run the country into the ground, why are you trying to convince me that it's good that the party that you support copying those policies and that economic framework?
It's a very good question. 3, 2, 1.
Void of talent, of skill, that is using the Trump playbook and trying to incite riots on Remembrance Day. And the same people opposing Labour now are the same people that opposed Labour back when they tried to...
By the way, did you see Tommy Robinson spending his birthday in the Nick?
I did see it, yeah.
Loser.
What time are you on, by the way?
I am on 4:28.
4:28, okay.
Yeah. Tommy Robinson arrested. I covered that on stream yesterday. He's now been banned from going to London until January the 22nd, where he has to go back to London for a hearing on the case.
It's too good. It's too good.
That's what you get. If you can't incite a race riot on fucking Armistice Day and then turn up 2 weeks later like that's gonna just fly. Well, that's normal.
Did you see the people like flying Israeli flags, like chanting "Juden rat" at Hasidic Jews protesting for Palestine?
It's mad shit, honestly.
Absolutely.
And then fucking David Baddiel saying it's not a pro-Israel rally at all. It really, for not a pro-Israel rally, there was a lot of Israeli flags, and they literally sang the national anthem of Israel at the fucking event. Then about you, I reckon that might have been a pro-Israel event myself.
Quite.
And it says it was a real shame to see Peter Tatchell there as well. That was a letdown.
I mean, plenty of people are there, probably were there because they were campaigning against anti-Semitism. Which,
But you've got to be able
fair
to
enough.
see through the bullshit on this.
Yeah, but
Come
Peter
on.
Tatch was a moron.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's a shame because he gets it sometimes, and then he really, really badly doesn't get it others. Which is,
Yeah.
can he just stick to like doing arrests on people that are bad? That's based as fuck. Honestly.
Also, back to Supertansky. Like she just said here, well, the same people are opposing them now. The same people opposed them changing last time. Yeah, we are changing them from turning from a social democratic party into a neoliberal party. I think that's a bad thing. I am not even a social democrat. I'm a democratic socialist, right? I'm a leftist. I'm a communist, right? Like I don't believe that even social democracy is good enough, but I also believe that social democracy is preferable to neoliberalism. But I also don't want to vote for neoliberalism. So if they become a neoliberal party, I won't vote for it. And then you're mad at that too. We can't win in Supertansky world.
Yeah, the truce has been extended for an additional 2 days, apparently. Okay.
Hey,
Well, that's good. I mean,
the genocide lunch break can continue a little bit longer.
whoop whoop. I mean, to be fair though, I'd rather have the lunch break than not the lunch break. At least,
True.
like, that gives you time to maybe get anything else going. Maybe it's all bad, but again, some things are worse than others. Yes.
3, 2, 1, play.
Change last time. People would rather fight for pie in the sky hypothesis and unachievable aims than what is practically and logically achievable. If we fail to use the systems that we have in place to
Even the cat's gone
Yeah,
now. Jesus.
Yeah, the pie in the sky policy of what we did in 1945.
True, but you could also have gollywogs on jam jars in 1945. Times have changed.
Times have changed. Yeah, it's a different world we live in now.
No racism anymore, thankfully.
This is why the people just don't understand what they're talking about. She doesn't know what she's talking about, right? It's pie in the sky to have similar kinds of economic change that we had in 1945. That's all we're asking for, really and truly.
Yeah, or to go back to, it's too extreme to go back to John Smith.
John Smith.
How, look, I mean, I do a joke about, dream big or dream really small or whatever, right? But this is no dream at all. You're not even.
Remember,
you can't even go back to 1991.
Well, that's what West Streeting says, right?
Yeah.
That's what West Streeting says, right? No hope. No hope is better than false hope. So yeah, waging a war against hope. From the current Labour Party.
Yeah, I'm joining the war on hope on the side of despair.
3, 2, 1, play.
To our advantage, we're going to get another term of BNP. We're going to get the Farage Tories. Do you think they're going to get any better? The thing that enrages me the most about it is this is all based on hypothesis. People, but Star was going to be worse, he's going to be Tory, blah, blah, blah. What? Not one...
Pause. I'm sorry, can we just take a moment to appreciate the fantastic steel manning of her opponent's army she just did there? Literally, oh, I told you he's going to be a Tory. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, my criticism of Keir Starmer is mostly me speaking as a goose. Yes, that is entirely the thing. So, thank you for that very honest appraisal of our position there, Supertansky.
3, 2, 1, play.
Policy from Labour is remotely conservative. People react.
Whoa, pause.
Yeah, there you go. Love it.
Not one policy is remotely conservative, apparently, apart from treating the children of migrants in small boats as terrorists.
Yeah, apart from that.
Apart from no tax rises other than the non-tax status, apart from continuing shrunk council budgets, continuing privatisation in the NHS.
Yeah, but apart from that, it's I mean, you might as well be Lenin. Apart from that,
True. The real disciple of Leon Trotsky himself.
True. 3, 2,
1, go.
Think. And do you know what you're doing when you do that? You're helping the very people that are ruining your fucking life.
Pause. Oh my god, the self-report. There's such a huge self-report. The absolutely gigantic fucking mind-bending hypocrisy of Supertansky accusing other people of reacting and not thinking.
Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful.
Dear Lord.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1,
go.
play.
Go, oh, brilliant. Like, they're kicking off at each other again. Meanwhile, we're, like, you know, legging it out the door with bags of swag, you know. And also, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater because there's, like, massively progressive MPs in Labour, like, you know, Clive Lewis. If we don't win this election, we are fucked. You do realise that, don't you? Naysayers in the comment sections saying, oh, I'm going to vote Green. Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it? Let's vote for the person that's got no fucking hope of returning an MP, thereby helping the Tories get their majority.
Pause. I'm not in this just for the red team. The red team, if they're a bunch of cunts, I'm not voting for them. I don't care if that means the blue team win, because either way the blue team win. Just because you've slapped a red paint gloss on it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Like, on top of that, like, it's worth pointing out as well, it's like, so we're not voting Green because we think it's going to return MPs. It may return a handful, you know, 2 or 3 potentially, maybe a fourth if we're really, really lucky, and it's a bumper year for green crops, right? Like, what we're doing is voting as a using leverage to force over policy, right?
Yeah.
Exactly where UKIP did to the Conservative Party. We don't think we're winning seats. We're winning influence by influencing the positions of other parties through using our leverage at the voting booth. That's what we're doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not saying this necessarily about Supertansky, but I think this works as a general point against people who would take the kind of position she does. But these are the very same people who would vote Lib Dem or vote Green or vote anyone because they're not voting for that terrible Nazi man.
The jam man, yeah, literally. They every time they tweet about it, there's always another tweet from before saying I voted for the Liberal Democrats because Jumbly Crumbly Concrete was too left wing, right? They always do the same thing when it's the other way around. And on top of that, you know, there are progressive Labour MPs. Yeah, I advocate for voting in like members of the SCG. I think you should vote. If you live in Hayes and Harlington, yeah, vote Labour, right? I'm not going to tell you not to vote for John McDonnell, but that's a very vanishingly small section of the electorate that I don't think is the broad stroke of who I would plan to vote for. And even then, even if you do vote Green in Hayes and Harlington, John McDonnell's not losing. Labour aren't losing the election. They're 20 points ahead in the polls, 25 points in some.
Yeah. Like, the way, indeed, yeah. She's talking shit, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple more seconds. A 3, a 2, a 1.
2, a 1.
Dear. Yeah.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Well, that was... Yeah, that was...
Completely watertight arguments from Supertansky then.
Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it? It's an amazing riposte. Thank you. I'm really glad we bothered. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fucking
right, I'm going to call my stream there.
Fair enough.
Actually, I was going to say shout yourself out, but I'm going to raid into you anyway, so...
Okie doke. Well, thanks for coming on. Everyone go and follow No Justice MTG immediately, otherwise the death will stalk your every waking moment.
No worries. See you later, everybody, and I will raid into Novara over on YouTube.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okie dokie, everyone. Gartic phone time, mother flippers. Thank you, No Justice MTG, for raiding in. Hello, No Justicites. You can hit the follow button if you aren't already. And if you aren't already, what's wrong with you? We're going to be playing Gartic Phone. So, if you want to join, we can have up to 14 players, although I don't really feel like having 14 of you on. Or 13, I guess, because I'm one of those players. Go over to the Discord. Okay, go over to the Discord. Scroll either join the Discord if you're not already part of the Discord. Scroll down to the bottom of the thing. There's the waiting foyer, and I will drag you into the on air. Allow, motherfuckers, allow. Are you sure? No, I'm gonna cancel. What am I doing? No, I don't want to do that. Open a chat. There we go. Right. And I will post the link to join the game in there, and we'll do that. Okay, we've got Kieran Saunders. We've got Lord Freetus.
Hello.
Hello there. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Lord Freetus. How are you?
Hello. It's been a day. How are you doing?
I'm extremely well. You don't sound as French as I would have hoped. It's outrageous. Anyway, the link is in the chat, so if you want to join that and then jump on in. The invite link is in the on-air chat thing.
On-air chat.
Yes.
It's in the thing.
Yes.
Oh.
Hopefully this works. Hopefully people should be jumping into this as we go along.
Oh. Discord is being a dickhead. Why isn't it loading? Mother of law.
I don't know. I don't know. Does anyone else want to be in the game? Join the Discord, go down to the waiting foyer and I'll drag you in. I mean, it doesn't matter. As long as there are like 3 or 4 people, it should be fine. And hopefully it works. Are we aware?
Authorization to see the on-air chat?
Do you? Oh, for God's sake. Okay.
Yeah, I was like saying, I'm like seeing no chat.
Oh, fuck it. I'll send it to you individually then. Hang on.
Thank you much.
Okay. Paste. Boom. Why am I human? Yes, I'm fucking human. Fuck off. Jesus. Now what do I do? Hang on. Apologies, everyone.
Come on, people, join in. It's a barrel of laugh. Just 3 is going to be a little too few.
Well, it's enough to be getting going with, I think. Has anyone joined yet? I don't know.
Oh.
Hello?
I should be in. Oh, God. What? Oh, Twitch. Damn it. Sorry.
What?
Oh.
Yes, stop asking me if I'm fucking human. Jesus Christ almighty. Sorry. Oh, Miss Hire's just disappeared again. Okay. Well, whatever. Apologies, everyone. We're doing... Here we go. Hello, Kieran.
Hey.
Good lord. I am Cat. Good. Hello, Nick. Everyone go and follow Nick for being awesome and catty. Being a cat. Yeah. Okay. So we'll wait for a couple more people to come in, and then we'll sort of do a few rounds and see how it goes and if it works and all of that. And so I'll get the hang of it. I've got celebrities come. Well, hopefully, I've been networking behind the scenes. It's been very unpleasant.
Sister Rose.
It's not my usual. It's not my usual style. Where's the link? Hang on, I'll send it to you on Discord. 1 second. Beep 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 beep.
Oh, it's me.
Hello, you. How are you?
Oh wow, you're loud on this. I better turn you down a little.
There you go. Jump on in, and we'll get going.
Whee! Okay, I'm trying to find where to put
Did
the
you
eye.
send me an invite?
Who said that? I can't tell anyone apart.
The Frenchman, the Lord Fritus.
Lord Fritus, yeah, I sent it to you, didn't I?
On Discord?
Yeah. Yes, I'm human.
Oh god. Here you are. Du-du-du.
Doo-doo-doo.
Awesome. Okay. We'll
All with Twitch.
We've only got 3 people. Can some people fucking join, please? Don't be bums today. We're playing games.
and Sister Rose is
Hello?
here, and she's a mod for Keffels, so
It should
she's
do.
got friends.
I'm a mod for Kevin Logan as well.
Yeah, but but Keffels is famous, so like, think about the
yeah.
reflected glory you could have. That's the way to look at it. Okay. I don't know how long these. How long does a round last usually? Do we know?
Oh, it can be pretty short.
Like Tommy Robinson. Ew.
Depends on how many people you have in.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I guess. So which type do we want to play? There's normal, knockoff, secret, icebreaker, blah 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 blah. Should we just try a normal one
Go
first?
with yes, and
And what? Your sentence didn't end. Or should I say ended too soon? I don't know. Lord Fritus, are you having a problem?
Yes, it's on my end. It's my fault.